polyamory? What do you think? Hi there, I'm Rue. Welcome to my video where I talk about anything I want. Inspired by D'Angelo, I am. Yes. And today I want to talk about polyamory. What is polyamory? The word itself is from Greek, poly, meaning many or several, paired with the Latin word amor, meaning love. And it's the practice of or desire for intimate relationships with more than one partner, with the informed consent of all partners involved. It has been described as consensual, ethical, and responsible non-monogamy. In my last Real Talk video where I talked about polygamy, aka the marriage union between one man and several wives, I asked you guys, what do you guys think about polygamy, polyandry, and polyamory? I was pleasantly surprised to see that most people are open-minded and as long as it doesn't hurt anyone, you do you, boo. I was also very pleasantly surprised to see that several of my viewers have positive experiences with the concept of plural partners, be it in their own personal romantic life or being the child raised in that lifestyle with parents who are in a plural relationship. Gives me hope for the future because I feel like there's so much judgmental stuff going on. I don't think the government should be butting in and telling people how to live, who to love, any of that. So that made me happy and restored my faith in humanity, you know? That most people were like, yeah, like even if they don't feel like it's for them personally, that, you know, if it's for someone else, you do you, boo. Yeah, that should be the slogan of my channel. You do you, boo. Maybe make a t-shirt out of it. Jamie Joanne Russell says, as long as it's being consenting adults, I think whatever makes them happy, fine. Forced ones and forcing underage kids into it is evil. Yes, I agree. I knew one guy who was in an open relationship who married his wife's girlfriend because she needed health insurance. Not sure how it worked, but from my understanding, it wasn't even a sexual relationship on his part. But yeah, he ended up with 2 wives. That's kind of mind-blowing to me because I'm Norwegian, I live in Norway, Europe, Scandinavia, and healthcare, everyone has healthcare, so to know that you would have to jump through hoops like marrying someone to get a basic human right such as healthcare, that's mind-boggling and honestly a little sad to think about. I hope that changes. I hope all countries get that under wraps and that greedy politicians will stop saying that, oh, but if you have healthcare for all, we just won't function as a society, aka make as much money off of people's misery. It's really what they're saying. Woomy Boomy says, my parents are polyamorous. My 3 parents all love each other very much. I have 2 moms and a dad. It's not as difficult as it may seem. You can ask me questions if you want. There may be things I don't know, as I don't exactly poke at my parents' relationship all too much. Same. Like I'm glad if my mom is in a happy relationship, but also I'm like, okay, let's not go into details now. They also say both my mothers are bisexual and my father is straight. We live in America where polygamy is not legal. Given this, they're not legally married and have been this way for 17 years. The idea of being in an open relationship has been an agreement between the 3 of them, and all of them have dated someone else at least once while being in this relationship. Yeah, it's illegal in a lot of places, but it's more illegal in some places. Like, for instance, in Norway, you can have a relationship with someone outside of your marriage if that's something you and your partner agree on. Also, even if you cheat on your partner, that's not a punishable offense by law. But there are places where you literally can be put in jail for adultery. And that's basically what they use, this law, to force people to conform into monogamy when people want to have a polyamorous relationship. If they're married to one of the partners, then the law can come in and be like, oh, you had a relationship with someone that you're not married to and you're married to someone else. Ooh, you're going to jail for adultery because this is the 1700s and we're all Puritans and this is the Scarlet Letter. What? It's crazy. Someone pointed out that a lot of this is basically the government taking the moral code from one religion, aka Christianity, and then forcing it on everyone, whether or not they agree. And it is. It is. Like, if you're in a relationship where you're not hurting anyone because you're all consenting adults and this is what you want to do, for the government to come in and be like, no, this is wrong, that's some fucked up shit. And it is forcing a religious belief on people, and that's not okay. The government is not supposed to do that. They pretend they don't, but sometimes they do, and that is not okay. Sweet Addicts Wonderland says, I have a mom and 2 stepdads. They all love each other, and they all care for me and my siblings. They have a very mature and healthy relationship. Yes, that's nice. Then you have, like, even more people to love you. That's nice. Jerry Twerky says, many people use poly for toxic reasons. Healthy poly is work, trust, and self-understanding. That is so true. I feel like all of the documentaries you'll find is basically the toxic ones, because I feel like healthy, normal people who are just like living in peace and having a nice life, living in polyamory, probably don't feel the need to have a documentary made about them, or the documentary people are like, y'all are not interesting enough, there's not enough scandal going on in your relationship, we're going to make the documentaries about the sad, miserable people instead, you know? Yeah, I feel like that's what they make the documentaries about, the people who twist it for toxic reasons. But then I feel like that's with anything, there's always going to be some people who twist it for their own selfish agenda. So yeah. A very interesting comment, because the last video was on polygamy, and I mentioned the founder of Mormonism, Joseph Smith, and how he was like, y'all need to like have more than one wife, because I was basically caught being an adulterer, so I made that a rule and God told me. Jareth Austin says, as an ex-Mormon, I loathe Joseph Smith Jr. He not only had many wives, he sent men from his congregation on missions so he could marry their wives. I don't know if you know this, but in Mormonism, people are sent on missions to convert other people and to spread the good word. If that was actually rooted in one guy's narcissistic, selfish want to basically have his way with people's wives, that would be sad. Oh my god. He also had 2 wives that were 14 years old. Oh, ew, no, so sad. He was also a well-known con man. He actually had over 30 wives, some that were already married, as stated before. I loathe him for starting this religion, and as a result, 22 years of my life was wasted in that cult. Sorry for the rant. On the topic of polygamy, if all adults are well informed, not doing it because of being forced into it by religion, all consent and are free to leave if it doesn't work out, I say you do you boo. Yes. Again, the slogan of my channel. You do you boo. Balier says, as long as they're not doing anything illegal, I don't see anything wrong with it. That's true, but also, like, I feel like a lot of laws make something illegal, but then, like, in modern society, we're like, that's a silly law. Like, you can't go outside after dark or you're a witch. Like, there's, like, weird rules like that, like, people just forgot to remove. So I feel like a lot of laws should be questioned, at least. I feel like this isn't really about them doing anything illegal, because it is illegal in some places, but more about we should make it legal. I mean, yeah. Ellie McMurray points out that it might be hard for women to leave if at first they marry a man and then they have kids by him, they love him, and then he starts saying he wants a new wife. I see how that could be a problem, but I feel like that's more of a equality in society issue than a polyamory or polygamy issue, because I feel like if you have equality in society and women can be independent and they can leave whenever they want, then you don't really have that problem, because then, yeah, it's sad if you were to be like pushing her into a kind of relationship that she isn't comfortable with, but then she would have options, you know what I mean? I feel like it's easier to twist polygamy or polyamory or anything like that if you live in a society where one sex is marginalized. Nagita Sylph says, I do not feel very comfortable with polygamy. I've been cheated on in every relationship I've been in before my current one. I'm really big on loyalty. And poly relationships kind of just feel like cheating on your partner, but your partner knows and has to accept you don't completely love them, that you're unsatisfied with them and need someone else, that they're not enough to make you happy. I see what you mean with that. Like, that's how I feel. But you know, if someone else feels differently, you know, that's cool. Someone pointed out, who was it? Vincent King pointed out that you can have several best friends, several favorite hobbies, and that's basically how they feel about romantic relationships too. And, you know, whatever makes you happy, as long as everyone's on board, that's really cool. To each their own. I feel like no one from either side, either be it monogamy or polyandry in any sort of form, should be telling anyone, like, this is the only way to live. Because there's, like, everyone's unique, and therefore you have to have unique ways to live. Like, it's not a one-size-fits-all sort of thing. I think society needs to be more open to that, and not make it hella illegal to just, you know, want to do you boo. Just want to live your best life. I'm so glad for everyone who commented. I hope no one felt like I was being judgmental, because even though I don't myself ever feel like I would want to be in a polyamorous relationship, I'm a monogamy kind of girl, but I hope no one felt like I was being judgmental, because I'm not. I feel like you do you, boo, whatever makes you happy, you know. I don't see anything wrong with it when it's people coming together doing whatever makes them happy, and it's, you know, everyone's consenting to it and all that kind of jazz. I feel so fortunate to have such a versatile, wide variety of viewers who could inform me and educate me on this subject, because it's one thing to watch documentaries and read on the internet, but, you know, I have, like, personal relationships with you guys, and you can tell me about it. It's really cool. In the next Real Talk video that's going to be posted on Saturday, sorry by the way that this video was really late, I've been having some issues with my recording software. I hope it's going to be okay this time, otherwise I have to record again. But the next video is going to be on polyandry, one woman and several husbands, and the historic traditions that leads to that kind of practice in several parts of the world. Very interesting. Do comment below whatever you feel about this subject, and thank you for coming by, you're awesome. I post Real Talks on the dailies most weekdays, Fridays are for Reddit readings, and soon Wednesdays will be true crime. If you want to help me make this my full-time career, do subscribe and leave a like and a comment and all that jazz. Thank you so much to my wonderful patrons, by the way. If anyone wants to become a patron as well, there's a link in the description. Okay, love you, bye.